Okay guys, welcome back. What I did while you were gone, I thought that the purple areas were a little too prominent and didn't blend enough. So I wet my paper towel just slightly, even though we had 5 minutes drying time, and I just went back over and kind of erased some part of it. So it really looks now that we've blended it into the background. I like how that looks a little bit better. I'm always kind of playing with my pages, altering them a little bit until I feel that I have something that I'm happy with. So maybe right down here, same thing. Maybe I have a little bit too much. So I can take that wet paper towel or my baby wipe and just, wipe it back a little bit so it blends into the page. Don't be afraid, like I keep saying, to wipe off some paint if you're not quite happy at where it's going. So on our second last step here, I've got pan pastels. So I spoke about these in my video on supplies. These are the only 3 colors that I have. I have I think it's a sepia. I guess I can take that. They come, you can either buy them in singly, which I did, or you can buy them in, I think sets of 4 or 6 or a whole bunch of different sets. So that was red iron oxide. I also have a blue and the one we're going to be using today, which is black. So these are fun because they stack. So I have 3 colors. If you buy them singly, each one of them comes with a bottom like this. So for example, I'm having a little trouble here. It's like a puzzle, guys. Anyways, the point is each one comes with a bottom, and in the bottom you have a whole bunch of different application pads. These are kind of like makeup sponges almost. Very, very cool for applying. They also sell these tools called Soft with 2 F's. They're pretty cheap as well. I think they come in a set of 3 or 4, and then all the tips that come in here. There's also a wedge that you get in the original set. They all fit on the different tips. There's one that's pointed, there's one that's round, and then that one that's square. So as you can see, this pastel is like no other that you've used, especially if you are a scrapbooker. This is very, very soft. What I'm going to do is just take a little bit on my tool, and what I want to do is make these squares pop out. I'm going to outline the entire square or the entire section of all these 3 things. I want them to look like they're popping off the page. You can do that whole light technique so that it looks like it's there's light shining in from one area, but really I want it to look like they're all popping. So I'm just taking my tool, and the thing with these is that they're really going to blend. So if you think it looks really heavy there, I'm going to blend that all away. So you guys, you can use blue, you can use any color that you want. You know me, that I like to add black layers to my pages. So creamy. These pastels are just so fun to work with, and you only need a very little bit. I'm going to go right over that stamped image from before, because again I want it to make it look like it was underneath these sections. So creamy to work with. You can just keep blending it away. You can use your baby wipe. You can use an eraser if you don't like where it's going at all. But really, I want these sections to pop out. If you don't like that it's such a thick layer, then you can go into your very fine tip, this tool, if you'd like. But I want it to be kind of thick, so just blending. I guess a good tip is that you start with a little bit, just like I said in the last video, and then keep adding if you want it a little bit darker. We'll go around here. Harder for me to do. If I wasn't doing this on camera, I'd have my face probably 2 inches away from the paper, just so I could have more control when I'm doing this. But really, I want this just to pop out. So I'm going to go down here. These tools, guys, are just so fun to use. You can also, you know, if you have your Stampin' Up! Chalks or some of the brands that we all had when we were in our scrapbooking days years ago, definitely use them. You just might have to go over it a few more times. It's going to have less pigment than these artist grade pan pastels. So basically I'm just shadowing it so that it separates more from the background and pops away from the page. You can skip this step. You can use paint in this step if you want to. You can use your finger to blend it a bit. Remember, this is your journal, and it's all about your expression and trying new things and figuring out what you like to do. So to me that looks good. I'm going to take my, just to show you, I'm going to take my little paper towel here and just try to, you know, soften a bit on the edges. It's going to take a little bit of the black away. This would be really fun if, you know, if you did it in purple to match that one layer I just created, or if you did it in the dark blue. But today I'm definitely feeling black. So I really like how that looks. My last layer on this page is going to be with a Copic marker. So Copic markers are, you know, this is a Copic 2 pen, T-O-O. This is black, 110 special black. And Copics are going to write over absolutely everything. So when I do my journaling, sometimes, you know, I like to do it in big pen and different blacks, but I just wanted to show you that Copics are definitely capable of writing over everything, including the wax water-soluble pastels. So just think, so I got Dream, Create, and Inspire. And just think about, I like the Copic 2s because they have not quite of the brush tip, just a small tip on one side and then the chisel tip on the other. Because I do a lot of writing, so I like this smaller tip. You can create a title when you do this. I'm just going to write a little bit. Learn to let go. So you see your first layer is going to look slightly, what's the word? It's not fully solid, right? So you're going to wait till it dries, and then I go back over it to get a darker, you know, I just go slow just to get a darker letter so I can see it a little bit better. If you tried this with a different pen, it might not write over your wax. So you kind of have to be cognizant of what pens, your wax pastel, what pens to use, what markers to use. And over here I'm going to write, enjoy the process. See, it's already starting to dry out a little bit. Probably just trying to do this too fast. I just, you know, tap it off and then write over it again. As with any pen, it's going to have trouble writing over water-soluble or wax pastels in general. Wax pastels in general. Just go slow. Go over it a couple times. It's not a big deal. Sometimes I have to flip over and my pen is drying out. There we go. Just had a little bit of wax on it. So you want to be